Hello everybody and welcome to the September and October update from Clydebridge station. Apologies once again, I've had to make it a 2-month update. However, the injury I've had, I'm recovering from very well. I'm now on just some tablets that I've got, or one tablet rather, I've got to take at night. And I'm in the final week of that tablet, so I should be well on the road to recovery by the time of the November update. And the Queen Margaret Hospital in Dunfermline has given me a leaflet with some exercises to do as well, so I'll be getting on with those, and they are helping a bit. I'm a little bit stiff and sore in the morning, but within an hour I'm absolutely fine, so I'm likely to have the pain for another 12 to 18 months at the most. Fingers crossed I can have it for less than that. It's not inhibiting me from being down here on the layout though, so it hasn't been too much done, but as you can tell from here, we've actually got something done, so I'll go on with what has happened and what I'm planning to do. This is going to be the final low relief part on this eastern bit of the layout. And you see I've got Clydebridge bus station there. What's missing from that is a Strathclyde Transport logo from 1990. And I will get round to doing that. At the time of filming, my printer ink cartridge, the black ink cartridge, had expired, so unfortunately I've not been able to get a Strathclyde Transport logo done yet because it's not printing the black, it's printing everything else. That'll get done in time though for the November update, when there'll be a fully properly placed sign there. Strathclyde Transport no longer exists as we know it. It's now SPT, Strathclyde Passenger Transport. And they actually run the Glasgow subway and cooperate with ScotRail on the trains in their rail area, which really would have been the former boundaries of Strathclyde Regional Council from 1974 until 1996. They used to run their own buses at one time as well. These are now actually absorbed into First Group. So that logo will go up there, and that'll complete that bit of the bus station. And then it'll be a case of getting more fencing along here, and that'll then complete that whole side there. I'll need to put down some more scatter material as well, so weeds and that, and possibly if I've got any spare fencing left, glue it onto there as well to make it seem like it's a completely fenced off area at the bus station. So that's where progress has been so far up there. Well, that's just switched down to here now because this scatter material I really like, so much so that I was at my local model shop in Kirkcaldy, Scooney Hobbies, and the good news is that I got another bag of this stuff. So I've put some down here and it's glued on the bottom, but it's not glued using a dropper. So that'll be a job that I'll do at some point in the future. Once that's done, I'm planning to possibly take up this lot. I'm not 100% sure yet if I should take it up or leave it. Or actually cover it with this stuff, put a sprinkling of it over. See, that's none of these are actually glued down, so they can be moved easily. I might actually just sprinkle it over it, and it'll just to give it a sort of uniform appearance. Now I've got some down here, but I haven't actually glued it down yet either, so that's something else that I'll do. This whole bit here will then be complete with some ballast here that's been laid down, but again not glued down, so that's something else that will get done. When I come to glue the ballast, it'll take a few more days to dry because we're into the colder weather now in October and November, so it's not as if it's going to dry in 24 hours, it's going to take quite a long time to dry. So with that in mind, I have to take that into account between the time that I'll be down here at the layout. But once it dries, it will be something like this. And I actually like that colour there, so that's certainly... Give me your thoughts on whether I should leave that there as that, or sprinkle this over to make that the same as this. Let me have your thoughts, please. Now, somebody beat me to their October update, and that was David Watson at Dean Park Station. So go and check him out, and give it a check out to Dudley Central, who's giving us a brand new layout as well. It's in the early stages, so do check him out. And of course Richard Warren at Everard Junction. If you like your Network South East era, Richard's your man for that, with his layout. Please check them out. Hope you enjoyed those couple of running shots in the video, by the way, with the sleeper train being shunted first, and then 47475 arriving in with the last service of the day from Liverpool, the TransPennine train. I still haven't got the lights for the buffers at platforms 4 and 5, but that will come. However, I have got all the signage, as you can see, has been installed on platforms 3 and 4, but what I will have to do is start cleaning the track here, and my good friend David Watson at Dean Park Station has recommended one to me. There was a Hornby track cleaning carriage, but he doesn't think it's that good, so he's recommended another one to me, and I'll have to go and ask him again what the hell it is, because my memory bank is overdrawn. I've also made a start to getting the lamps installed on platforms 5 and 6, and I'll get the signage done afterwards. I must point out once again that the lamps do come operational, but I'm using them as non-operational. I don't have the space to be able to install lots of wires underneath for the lamps, and I don't think I've got the experience yet either. However, the lamps are going to just sit as they are, as if they were operational. It must be remembered as well that this is set in the summer of 1990. Now over here, there was this awkward little space here which I've started to do work on, and I'll do more work after filming. I'm going to paint it brown down there, and I'll make a sort of grey roof. And that's going to be an Avery weighing machines workshop. There used to be one in Kirkcaldy, I always remember when I was a child. And we'd go into Link Street, and Avery, which became GEC Avery and is now Avery Berkel, had a small workshop at Link Street at the high street end of Link Street. We used to always sit in a cafe just across from it. That workshop closed in the early 1990s, and I don't know where the work was transferred to. It's now actually a dental practice. You can look for it on Google Street View. So that's what I'm going to make here. And I'll get the Avery lettering put on here, and that'll fill that end gap in there. And it means therefore that we've got a little completed section here. It fills up that awkward gap, I think, quite well. While we're actually down here as well, when I was looking around at other ideas for this area, I had thought about getting some more of this, but I don't know how I'm going to actually be able to fit it on up there, so I'm going to have to give that a lot more thought as to whether or not I can fit anything up there, back scene wise. So that's going to take a lot more thought. Now, if I give you another couple of layouts to have a check on. Strathpeffer Junction is set in northern Scotland. Now, David, who runs that, has been on and off. He has been in hospital. He's been on and off on YouTube with his leg, but please go and check him out. And West Blyth MPD is set in the northeast of England in Northumberland, so please go and check him out as well. And although we've got no exhibitions, I'm sure the Worley Model Railway Club, who run the world famous Worley Model Railway Show, would love your support as well, so please go and check them out as well. This is what their lamps, by the way, look like, and you can see that I've went and cut the cables off one of them. There's actually ones for a station that are actually just single sided. You've only got a lamp on one side. I'm giving serious thought to actually using them as street lamps instead, however, so please again let me know what you think. I'm going to show you mention to the Quadrant Park nightclub because not long after I built it and done the video explaining it to you, I emailed what I'd done to Howard Smith, the manager of, not the manager, the editor of BRM magazine. And in the current issue of BRM, the November issue, there's actually a bit in the magazine called Inbox, where people email or write in with their ideas. And he's included this nightclub and my circa 100-page write-up on it, how I built it. There is actually a full video on how I've done this, and it is here on YouTube. So if you key in building a nightclub, I'll also post the link up in the top right hand corner for you. Now I need to return to the bus station as well while I remember, so we'll just have a look at this Leyland National Mark II of Western Scottish. Western Scottish and what was my local operator, Fife Scottish, and now in the common ownership, Stagecoach. If you do fancy building a proper bus station for your layout, you might do no harm in actually downloading from the Stagecoach website a bus station that kids could put together using Pritt stick or some other sort of paper glue, and which kids can then have hours of fun with. The bus station can be printed on paper and could be then stuck on card. You fold it together and make up into a bus station. Why I mention that though is that you can actually also use the templates there to build your own mock-up bus station using bits of scrap wood that you might have lying around and possibly bits of plastic as well, making your own bus station, a modern style bus station, depending upon the era of your layout. It's no use building a 2010 style bus station for a layout that's set in the 1970s, but it might give you some ideas on layouts of stances, shelters, etc. So the link to the Stagecoach website is in the description, and even if your local company is not Stagecoach, please do check it out. It'll give you some good ideas, and you could also print it out. It'll give your kids, big and small, young and old, some fun as well. We'll finish off this month's update by looking here at the depot area, and a couple of things that I've been getting recently. I've got some more ballast, so it'll allow me to do this road here and get this ballasted up. Same with this road. And what I'll then do, oops, there we go. And what I'll then do is that'll allow these roads to be fully ballasted. The points will then need to be done, but that'll not be done until after I've got more of these installed, the ground frames. Get that done and we should be very close to having the track all ballasted, and it'll be a case of other works to get done. Lastly, I'll just return to the street scene again. Asked about what was better, this or this, and somebody said to me, just make it a continuation of this all the way along. So that's what I'm going to do. That'll be a continuation all the way along. Now, a couple of people on Twitter that I'd like you to go and have a check out and follow. Could you please check out former Radio City DJ and Lee Butler? He's a nightclub DJ. He actually cut his teeth at the Quadrant Park back in 1990. He won't like me saying how old he is. He's not taking his pension yet though. Are you, Lee? But seriously, DJ Lee Butler on Twitter, he now works at In Demand Radio, which is based in Liverpool. Play lots of dance music, so go and check Lee Butler out. Also check out Andy Nick Mullins, one of the most popular rugby union commentators in the British Isles. And he also knows a fair bit about tennis as well. It was him that actually gave my layout some publicity a couple of years ago when Danny Cipriani got picked for England for the first time in X amount of years. And I said in the time between his two caps I've been building a model railway layout. So cheers for that, Nick. So do check Nick Mullins out. And Ugo Monye. Go and check him out as well. He's a former Harlequins rugby player and is a pundit with BT Sport. Oh, and Ugo, just a reminder to you, it was Wasps that won the Netball Super League, not the Rugby Union tour team. Just a reminder to you on that. That was from a question of sport some time ago when he buzzed in too early on a question, and it was actually about netball and not rugby union. I'm sure that Nick Mullins, Martin Bayfield, Craig Doyle do mention that to Ugo from time to time, just to pass the time of day. But seriously, I hope that everybody's fitting well at the moment, and hopefully I'll be a lot fitter by the time of the November update. And hopefully there'll be a small amount of work done. And there might even be something else on the layout. I'm looking at acquiring a Bachmann or Hornby Mark 1 BG, which will then complete the parcels train. So you never know, there might be another vehicle on the layout. There might even be another locomotive on the layout by then. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this month's update. Please check out those other layouts I've told you about. There's far too many to mention on YouTube. But please check all of them out. And please check out those guys on Twitter that I told you about. I shall see you next month, and details of Facebook and Instagram to follow. Goodbye for now.